Hello, my name is Slappy, and welcome to the Slapbox. This is a review show where I'll be reviewing various amounts of topics, giving them a rating 1 through 10. 10 is the highest, 1 is the worst. You do not want a 1. And if possible, if a place is extremely terrible or something extremely terrible, it will get a 0. I can't think of anything in my mind right now that will get a 0, but let's see if that happens. Alright, so how this is going to work, I'm just going to review a bunch of stuff, and maybe in later episodes, bring in a bunch of guests, do a bunch of different things. Who knows what's going to happen. So, with the first topic we're going to review, it's going to be something near and dear to my heart. Something that deserves to be the first thing reviewed, and deserves to be the first thing to get a perfect 10 out of 10. Moe's Southwest Grill. Moe's Southwest Grill is a fine establishment that serves burritos, stacks, tacos, bowls, and with the cream of the crop, the queso. Believe me when I say this, it is out of this world. There's nothing like Moe's queso out there. And I worked there recently, since for 3 weeks. It is just very sanitary, very fine, and there's really nothing wrong with Moe's. The only thing that's wrong with it is the long hours. And I don't really have free time anymore, so I don't think I'll be working there long once hockey starts. But I would really recommend that you go to Moe's. You get a Joey burrito or a Wrong Doug stack. The chicken there, they recently changed the chicken recipe for the better. I highly recommend going to get the chicken. It is just amazing. And please, please, get the queso, please. Trust me when I say that. Alright, so review topic number 2, the SAT. I recently took the SAT for the second time last Saturday, October 6th. I honestly have to give the SAT a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. It only gets the 5 points because every kid applying to college in the nation has to take it, so it's a standard baseline test where you can evaluate everyone's intelligence. With schools, different schools can have different academic curriculum, so then it's hard to evaluate them because you can get a 3.0 at a really hard school and then be more intelligent than somebody who gets a 4.0 at a school where you just have to write your name down on the paper. And that's what I find, because my GPA is not the highest, but I have a very high SAT score, which just shows that my school is very academically prestigious. And the reason it's not a high rating, it's not a super high rating, it's only 5, it's because it's very boring. The reading section, I have bad dyslexia, and I can't focus on it. It is terrible. It's just very boring, an hour reading. The grammar section is not that bad, about 35 minutes. The math, about another 30 minutes for the no calculator, and then I don't see why we need an hour for the calculator section. I finished with 20 minutes left. You sit there and do nothing. You should be able to have your phone during the SAT. What are you going to do? Cheat with the answers? It's not something you can really cheat on with the answers, because it's impossible to get the answers ahead of time and all that. So it's just not possible to cheat on it. You should be able to have your phone to keep entertained during the test. I don't see why they wouldn't let you have your phone. So 5 out of 10. The next thing is the movie Venom. Venom is a movie. It's from Spider-Man 3, basically, the villain Venom in it. But they make a whole nother movie about Venom. There's this character, Eddie Brock, who basically is Venom. And then he goes to try to save other people, be a good guy. Then ends up losing everything with it. It's a very sad thing that happens to him. But then the Venom comes. The Venom is basically an alien that attaches to him and basically becomes part of him. And they basically share the same body, share the same mind and everything. At the beginning, the Venom's kind of an asshole, to be honest. Not very fun. But then, as you go on, the Venom character, he gets very funny. There is some very funny lines by the Venom guy. I highly recommend that you watch Venom. And I give Venom a 9 out of 10. I'm trying to think of something that can make it better. But the only thing that can make it better if they made the villain Riot, which is another alien basically, a bigger character because they didn't. They kind of had one 15-minute fight with Venom and Riot and didn't really have anything leading up to it. They should have made Riot a bigger character, or else it would be a 10 out of 10. But very funny, very action packed. I highly recommend it. 9 out of 10. The next thing is just school in general. I give high school, not the social part or the athletics part, just the academic part. I give high school a 2 out of 10. It is not a great thing. Like, you just go in, you don't actually really learn. You just mindlessly remember things through repetition, doing it over and over again. But then it's mostly things that you will never use in the real world. Like, you go in, I'm gonna leave high school. I'll have no idea how to pay taxes. I'll have no idea how to do a bunch of the business stuff I want to. But at least I know how to solve for X. Like, no one's gonna teach you how to pay taxes. High school should be preparing people for college and life. Like, no one, you could sign up to take calculus if you want to become basically an astronaut or an engineer or something, where you have to use the advanced mathematical equations to be able to be successful in those careers. But honestly, I want to own my own business when I get older. I don't need to know calculus. I need to know how to file tax returns, do payroll, all that stuff. And I can learn it in college, of course, but I'll be going into college with no knowledge of this and having to pick up from scratch. If high school could like prepare people for the real world better, it would get a 10. But no, English is very important to learn. English with literature. You don't really need to know another language. It's your choice if you want to. It shouldn't be mandatory. What else? History. History is important because there's a quote: "Those who do not know the lessons of history are bound to repeat it," which is basically you. If you don't know about World War II, who knows? You could be the next Hitler. Who knows? That might be an unpopular thing to say, but if you don't know what happened in World War II, people won't be like, "Oh, I want to kill the Jews." Well, that is not right, and that should not be something that people should think. So I really wish that schools just prepare people for success in college in the real life, in the real world. I'm sorry for the mistake. The fifth thing I like to review is soccer. So soccer is a sport where you basically go kick a bunch of balls around, not a bunch of balls, one ball around. You just chase the person with the ball for 90 minutes. It's very boring. I give soccer um, uh, 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. A little bit better than high school. And worse, I'd rather be taking the SAT than watching soccer. It is a very boring sport. A 1-0 game is considered a blowout or something. Soccer should not be allowed in America. It is a Hispanic sport. It should not be allowed in America. The only soccer thing that should be allowed in America is the World Cup. And the USA wasn't even in it. This is what I'm talking about, Slapbox fans. The USA wasn't even in the World Cup. And yet, they televise it in America. Like, who gives a shit how Senegal is doing in the World Cup? No one cares. We want to see Americans succeed. We don't want to see people from Norway, Sweden succeed. We want to see fine American soccer, not this stupid Mexican football. America should be allowed in the World Cup. So like that would be the only thing that makes soccer not completely shoot my brains out boring. So 3 out of 10. Next up to review, the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns went 0-16 last year. But then look, they get this guy named Baker Mayfield in the draft. I've been telling you since Oklahoma Baker Mayfield was going to be a star. I've been telling you that he's one of the best players in the league. I'm not jumping on the hype train because I've been telling you that. And they get Jarvis Landry, who I've been telling you is one of the best players in the league over and over and over again. But Jarvis Landry and Baker Mayfield, they are a deadly duo. The Ravens, a very good team. They blew out the Bills 40-0 week 1, something like that. And the Browns come and beat the Ravens for Baker Mayfield's first home start. And I'm very proud of Baker Mayfield and how far he has come since Oklahoma. The Browns, I give them an 8 out of 10 just because I see so much potential in them. I see that the Browns can be truly great and that the Browns that I think they're going to do very good. So, 8 out of 10. Let's see how the Browns do this season. I think they're going to barely miss the playoffs, but next year I see them in the playoffs. You can quote me with that. You can quote me. Let's see what the time is. So we have one or two things left to review. Let me think. Let's review superheroes in general since we reviewed Venom. I think superheroes are actually overrated. They're just a bunch of ordinary people given powers. It's not the powers that make them great. That they want to do good. Because if they wanted to do bad, they would end up being a supervillain. That's what I keep telling you. There's the only thing separating superheroes from supervillains is their will to do good. If there was no supervillain, there wouldn't be a need for superheroes. So all I'm saying is I only give superheroes a 6 out of 10 because the only reason they're needed is because people with the same powers basically just decide to be shitty people. Like, what the hell? If everyone just decided to be average, ordinary people, then there wouldn't be a need for superheroes. And superheroes pose a great threat. People with powers. Because, like Superman, say if Superman was an asshole, he could just come in and destroy everything we live for. It is a scary thought to think, ladies and gentlemen, that this alien could come to Earth and destroy everything that we live for. So 6 out of 10 for superheroes. I'm gonna review one more thing for today. I'm gonna review shrimp. Shrimp is a food, as you know, or an animal. But shrimp, it generally pisses me off. And there's this friend, let's call him Friend of Slappy. His name is, let's make him a name for him, Mike. So Mike, me and Mike were talking. And we started talking about shrimp somehow. I don't know how we started talking about shrimp. But then it just occurred to me that shrimp just pissed me off. There's so many different kinds of shrimp. And, like, but no one knows the difference between them. I don't even know the difference between them. And the one shrimp that pisses me off the most is jumbo shrimp. Jumbo shrimp, they're tiny, but they're called jumbo. It doesn't make any sense, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, jumbo shrimp shouldn't be allowed in the United States of America. They make no sense. They're tiny, but they're called jumbo. Like, just because they're bigger than other shrimp, don't make them jumbo. They're still tiny. Like, seriously, you're gonna call a small little shrimp thing jumbo? Who in the right mind would do that? That's like if two midgets are next to each other and one midget's taller. You don't call the tall midget a very tall person. That doesn't make any sense, ladies and gentlemen. I just want you to see that they jumbo shrimp get a 1 out of 10 rating. 1 out of 10 cuz they don't make any sense. Their taste for jumbo shrimp, especially when they're coconut jumbo shrimp, is a fine 9 out of 10. But I'm not reviewing the food and the taste of jumbo shrimp. I'm reviewing jumbo shrimp as they are, and they are just annoying. They make no sense. They're just midgets that are a little bit taller than other midgets. Like, what is wrong with them, ladies and gentlemen? Please tell me. All right, so um, I I will come up with you with more things to review next time. You can comment things to review. You can tell me things you want me to review. This is on a school laptop, and people could view this. So we have to keep everything clean, ladies and gentlemen. No inappropriate stuff, please. Please keep all comments clean. Please keep all suggestions clean. I will not be reviewing anything inappropriate. Uh, and just keep in mind, if my opinion offends you, I'm very sorry. Sometimes, as you see when I review, I keep spiraling, spiraling, and spiraling, and then my emotions just get the best of me. I get like with jumbo shrimp. I got so entangled with how stupid they are. Soccer. I might have said a bit of some points that weren't that smart there, but that's my opinion. I was trying not to be offensive to anyone, but it's my opinion, and with the First Amendment, I had the freedom of speech. So please, I apologize for anything that could have offended someone. But just remember, it is my opinion. I'm not forcing it to be your opinion. So I would like to thank you for watching the Slapbox. And please let me know if this was a success. And I will be making a few more in the future, see how this goes. And let's just see where it takes us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.